Hey guys, Jason here. I want to just thank you firstly for your patience in waiting for this latest episode. It's been quite the challenging past couple weeks, honestly, but we're finally here. We're showing up, we're doing our best, and we are putting out what we said we would put out, which is quality content to help each and every single one of you live your life to the fullest by learning as much as possible through even the smallest things. And today's lesson, it's no different. I know you'll enjoy this. Here we go. Welcome to Lessons from the Mundane, or LFTM, the show where you and I are able to glean life-giving lessons from everyday things all around us, otherwise known as the mundane. My name is Jason, or you can call me Jace, your humble host for these next few minutes and a fellow believer in living a life of abundance and fulfillment, something I truly desire to share with you. Today's episode is going to resonate so deeply with many of you. Why? Let me tell you why. As far back as I can remember, I struggled deeply with any school subject related to math. That's right. I know. It must be shocking to hear. It just irks me to have to let you guys down so heavily in revealing the truth. I'm not good at everything. Yeah. Like I said, in school, math was my weakness. I hated it. Generally, I did pretty well in school, so I never really had to work too hard to keep up in my classes. Keep in mind that I'm not one of those geniuses that never needs to study, and even for them, they have their own set of challenges. It's just that it was easier for me to retain information about anything other than math at the time, meaning I would actually study and work on those other classes a lot more seriously. Did you catch that? Your level of performance in various areas of your life is not limited to your personal affinity or preference. It can and will be affected by how seriously you take your performance in those respective areas. By the way, if your immediate reaction to hearing all of this is blaming someone else, then it is highly recommended that you deal with that mindset first and then come back to this. But don't you worry, Jason's got your back. All right, let's take a break from the whole math story. We'll get back to that. And let's talk keeping receipts. When I talk about keeping receipts, I mean taking note, be it mental, physical, visual, or auditory, a daily journal, something on paper, or even using an app for video journaling. Super useful. Personally, I use a combination of video journaling and voice memos on my phone. But there are two reasons why I'm asking you to keep your receipts. Number one, comparing your transactions teaches you where to spend more time, aka where to shop. Before I moved out, there were times where I would have been super busy and my mom literally forced me to go to Walmart. Before the time came for me to live on my own, I used to relish the immense privilege of actually going on many a shopping run for my dearest mother, whom I love oh so much. Never too busy for you, Mom. Yes, that virtuous woman who carried me around for 9 months and won't stand for any foolishness. She would send me to Walmart or Target for some things, but then to Bravo or Kroger, if you know those stores, for others. This would ultimately save us a lot of money because those items that she would send me to the other stores for were a lot cheaper there. How would you know this without a receipt? So let's go back to my earlier story about school. How would I know that it's okay not to spend as much time studying stuff I'm already good at in English and to invest that time more seriously into understanding mathematical concepts and growing my skills there without a receipt of my own? I'm talking about something like a report card. So let's wrap up number one, which is, again, comparing transactions teaches you where to spend more time, aka where to shop. So if I'm looking at my report card and I see that I submitted all my assignments and did all my study guides for English, but then in my math subjects, I was late for some or I didn't submit others, that clearly tells me, via comparing the transactions, hey, naturally my grades are going to be much better here than over here. So if I start matching them up, obviously, or more naturally, my grades would then reflect the same. Hopefully that makes sense, because the last point we'll be talking about is number 2. Receipts bring with them a sort of track record confidence. What does that mean? When someone wants to accuse you of never buying the orange juice, you can stand confidently in proving them wrong because you have a receipt. What that can occasionally translate to is the fighting off of improper labels. Here's an example. If anyone tries to accuse you of being lazy or stupid, but you've got a log of the many hours you've poured into either working out or studying away from prying eyes so they wouldn't know in the first place, that is your confidence in saying that this label of lazy or stupid does not apply to me, because here's the evidence of where, or here's the receipt showing every single thing I have paid for. As long as you decide within yourself that their thoughts do not define you, then you will be able and have every right to stand confidently in the identity of one who knows difficulty, but works hard anyway. Again, why or even how? Well, I think renowned speaker Les Brown says it best, and please hear me when I quote this right now. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. I'll say it again, someone's opinion of you, their opinion of you does not have to become your reality. Someone, anyone, and I do mean anyone, I don't care how close they are to you, if they are trying to brainwash you or program you into thinking that you are worthless, I submit to you then a solution that has worked for me for years. And that is the fact that the Bible stands tall as chief among receipts. It's kind of long as far as receipts go, so imagine CVS or Walgreens, but more. Anyway, in Romans 5, verse 8 of the Amplified Version, it says the following: "But God clearly shows and proves his love for us by the fact that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." Don't miss it. It says while we were still sinners, not after we cleaned up our act or after we became perfected beings that are faultless, that Christ died for our sins. No, while we were still sinners. While I, for example, was still making poor life decisions that were clearly against the very principles I knew were right for me to follow, God was still handing me proof. A receipt detailing his unconditional love for me and for you. Knowing all of that in your heart of hearts reminds us of point number 2 as we close, which is receipts. They have the ability to bring a sort of track record confidence in our lives. That being said, some people, including myself occasionally, if I'm being honest, still kind of mistake the Bible as just another book or as yet another thing to be considered mundane. But I assure you, my friends, that its lessons forever remain eternal. My name is Jason, or you can call me Jace. This was Lessons from the Mundane, or LFTM, and I speak favor and fulfillment over your life. It took me a little longer to finish this video, but I thank you all for your patience. I really hope you had lots of fun listening, but also most importantly that you came away with it, or that you come away with it with feeling nourished, just full, that you learned something and that it was easy to swallow in a format that makes sense to you. And if not, let me know in the comments certain things that you'd like to see more of, or certain things, if any, that you'd like to see less of. It's okay. That's what the comment section is for. Feedback. So that being said, if you truly enjoyed this video, please leave a like, as well as subscribe and join me for the future adventures to come. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, I'll be seeing you.